Assalamualaikum and good greetings. So today we'll be watching a video titled Christian Mom Discusses Islam Journey with the Three Muslims. This is by Sony Fars. Without further ado, let's watch.
Did you guys know that your videos discussing Andrew Tate were going to blow up the way that they did?
So with the initial videos, I kind of made those intentionally to go viral with the Andrew Tate ones. I was like, Andrew Tate is the most trending thing, and Mom Reacts is like a cheat code to going viral. So I kind of just put those two together.
It was a business decision on his part.
Yeah, it was definitely calculated. And then I used like specific algorithm stuff I know behind the scenes, marketed on TikTok. So it definitely blew up more than I thought. But
yeah, I didn't think that me being as part of the channel would really be as big of a thing as it is. And it's turning into something that's really fun for us and a really fun way for us to spend time together. And these are the conversations we have anyway. So for him to be able to use it in business and us be able to have a good time is awesome. But yeah, it's kind of this is not a path I thought I was going to be on. If you would have told me I was going to be on this path earlier this year, I would have been, no.
Making YouTube videos. Yeah, I know. It is funny to think about.
I think I have watched one video of him when he first, invite his mom to one of the videos. Is it Andrew Tate video or something? I didn't remember. But that makes me think, right? Because there are channels that blow up when they have their partner together. Because I think instead of having one person, having another person that also is in the conversation, directly in the conversation, especially when you have different point of view, etc. It would be interesting to watch, right? So it got me thinking of any possibility of having my love partner beside me or anyone, but of course with that I quickly realized that would probably never gonna happen. Yeah, anyway.
That's a cool path. I mean, you're on it too, and you guys are doing really well. And did you expect this yourselves?
It's funny because if I had mentioned in the beginning, we started this channel with the sole purpose of if we can just help one person, then that's enough for us. So we had our hopes, but me personally, I never expected to see like 100,000, which we're about to hit. We just had the goal of we want to help people, we want to guide people to Islam, we want to speak the truth and dispel any misconceptions that are out there.
I think it's a really cool mission, as a Christian, and you've seen some of our videos where I've been talking about how my level of Christianity has stepped up over the past year or so, and it was like in and out my whole life, but I've come to it in a whole different way this year. And so one of the things I understand that my job as a disciple is to be a fisher of men. That's how it was put to Jesus's disciples in the Bible, and you're doing that, and you're not fishing for Jesus, of course, but I really think that whether I catch some fish or you catch some fish, I think we can make the world a better place by bringing people closer to God. Either way, it's going to be better. So it's very cool that that's your whole point. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that doesn't mean a lot. And it's funny because from our perspective, we would say that we are actually also fulfilling the fishing for Jesus kind of mission, because we believe that Jesus called people to worship one God alone and to enjoin good and forbid evil. And I don't know, maybe it's a little early to pull this out. The brothers know what I'm about to pull out. But I have this this book here. It's called The 5 Gospels. And long story short, they put in gray letters things Jesus probably didn't say, black letters things he didn't say, and then you see like the pink down here, these are things Jesus probably did say. And when I was going through it, I found a lot of Jesus's most beautiful messages are the ones that the scholars who put this together agree he probably said this. Like he almost definitely said this. For example, love thy enemies is in like red bold letters. So messages like that are the ones that Muslims resonate with very, very kindly, and it's kind of that understanding of Jesus that we want to portray to the world. But for Elena, for you, I know that you mentioned recently you kind of came back to it, and Sunny, I know that you mentioned that you're interested in Islam because recently Andrew Tate accepted Islam and that kind of gauged your interest. So how are you both with Christianity, Islam, and spirituality?
I've never I've grown up Christian, but I've never been too big into church myself. Like I've just never really resonated with it, And my view on Islam has always been very like Americanized, if you know what I mean. Like I'm not surrounded by Muslims growing up. I could only name like a couple handful that I went to school with or something like that. So I never really knew about the religion. Like even for the longest time when I would think about it, it's like in my mind I wouldn't have ever thought Jesus would be the most mentioned prophet inside of the Quran. Like I think it's like a completely different religion. Like if I think of like Hinduism and it has like elephant, like I have no idea what was really going on inside, you know what I mean? And seeing how many similarities there are inside the religions, especially with like core beliefs, has definitely changed my mind to it a ton over the last few months.
Absolutely, I agree. So yeah, again, we were taught everything we need to know about Islam through the media with a political slant that taught, we learned about Islam through learning about terrorist political organizations who happen to also be Muslim, right? And but it all just becomes one thing in the news, you know. And one of our big things is in all of our videos is we tell everybody, don't believe what you see in the news. Look deeper. Go ask questions, get more opinions, do your own research. And, you know, so for us, we're putting our money where our mouth is by really researching Islam. And I'm glad that we're doing that. And for me, this my Christian path, without getting into it, because it's been a long life, all of it, I don't want to bore you to death, but God was always just on a throne in the sky and very distant. And that is what Catholicism did for me. And, I've taken part more in actual Bible study and being more into the Baptist sect of Christianity, which is, really more biblical teachings and mission work. And I'm not doing any mission work yet, but that's.
So what she mentioned there, because one of you that commonly watch and comment on my videos is from Catholic background, right? What do you think about what she said? Because she kind of, from what I can understand, she kind of indicate that she have some Catholic background, and in that Catholic background, God seems distant, and then she goes to, what did she mention just now? I didn't remember, but because she didn't mention Protestant, etc., right? She mentioned something, I forgot. But she said that that's more biblical or scripture or something. Any comment on that?
That's what they do. They really reach out into the community. So I have now a totally different relationship with God and with Jesus, and it's so much more awesome and real for me. So he hasn't had that experience yet. I'm just bringing him into it because he was raised Catholic. He was raised with God on a throne, scary out there, not really in your heart. And where Islam comes.
Yeah. So for Catholic out there, is that a good description of what and how you see God based on Catholic teachings? Or any explanation?
And for me is I'm particularly fascinated with the study of it now and seeing the commonalities. That's where I'm at right now, because I'm digging deeper and deeper into the Old and New Testament and really starting to learn for the first time in my life in a way that's meaningful. And I'm, what I learned from all these videos and all these conversations is where the common ground we have. And I think that that's so awesome. That to me is like so beautiful that we have so much common ground.
Okay, what she said about being seriously learning from her perspective Bible, right? That is interesting that this medium, YouTube, can become a catalyst for many things, including people going back to their roots, to their teachings, to their religion, to their faith, to their holy books, when otherwise, without certain interaction or exposed to certain videos, for example, they would just go on with their life, as if, just with whatever you have been taught since you are small, without actually having the curiosity or the seriousness or the inquisitivity about to research more, basically.
I think that's a message that we need to spread. So.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There's a question that just comes straight to my mind, if you guys don't mind me asking her. But did you know before, at least let's say before you started, looking into Islam a little bit more, that it was also an Abrahamic faith?
Nope.
I didn't know. No.
I don't even have a long answer on that one. Just no.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot I don't know. There's still.
So, generally speaking, do Christian people around the world think that Christianity and Judaism is something similar and Islam is far off, that do not have any similarities? Is that the general perspective for those who, among those people, or used to be among those people, meaning in terms of level of exposure? Is that accurate to say as such?
A ton. I've only scratched the surface on Christianity. I went to 12 years of Catholic school, and I feel like a new Christian. So I'm learning both of these religions in parallel. It is how it feels. I know more about Christianity just because I did pick up something in all those years, but in a really deeper biblical, scholarly way, this is a whole new world for me. So just learning that. Yeah.
So you said that you grew up learning Catholicism, correct?
Yes.
So it's actually amazing that you're saying what you're saying, that you're doing what you're doing. May God bless you, because you truly seem sincere in what you're saying, your story and everything. And I'm sure there's way more to your story because you only this much. But in Islam, we're actually told to look for the answers, to read for ourselves. And we're told to not just blindly follow what those before us are following. So like our parents, our family in general, we're told to actually just like look for the answers yourself, because if you're sincere, God will show you everything.
Yeah.
So I think it's real beautiful that y'all are on this path.
All right, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and if you're interested in learning.
All right, so yeah, interesting. And just like many other YouTubers before that I have watched, that I have seen eventually becoming Muslim, hopefully both of them will have, you know, similar journey as that. And I've seen some channel that actually started to watch Islamic content and only convert or revert 1 year plus afterwards. So they said they're only, you know, getting into this topic like several months ago. So we will see after 1 year, maybe to 2024, what will become of this channel. And of course, as a Muslim, I'm making dua, I'm praying that Allah will give them hidayah, inshallah. What do you think? Yeah, any other good channel that you would like to suggest, feel free to do so. Thank you for watching. See you next time.